What do we do if we need to jump ship from Spotify? SoundCloud versus Spotify. One music platform compared to another. Things that you guys care about the most, which is making money and getting discovered. You guys know I always look at the contracts that you have to sign. So for me, that's a hard deal breaker. It's always fun to do a little comparison. So SoundCloud versus Spotify. On the Spotify front, I am still just kind of holding my breath on what's going to happen later this year, specifically as it relates to this new tier Spotify is trying to roll out, because all these companies, they're starting to be like, we need to get with the AI and make the user experience so super great. And so if Spotify is going to do what we think it's going to do, which is it has announced it's going to have a remix feature, for me, I think I'm going to be off Spotify at that point. Just this whole someone being able to remix my music without my authorization, what happens with it after that? Even if they came back and they're like, no, it's just going to be a special little thing that they can do and it will never leave their phone. We'll see. I don't know how bad this is going to get. But when we're going to compare Spotify as far as a place to have your music to be consumed by your fans versus SoundCloud, the way that I want to talk about SoundCloud today and kind of go through it is through monetization, right? Making money. Which one is better, SoundCloud or Spotify? What about discovery and reach, right? Can people find you? It's so important on like what's going to happen if you're going to be on a certain platform. So we care about that. But then you guys know I always look at the contracts that you have to sign. If you're going to have your music on one of these platforms, you have to give rights in order to have your music on those platforms. So what does it say? We're going to jump into all of it. If you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. And because I care so much about making sure that we all make as much money from our music as possible, be sure to get my 35 ways to make money free linked down for you below. All right. First and foremost, let's jump into monetization, making the money. Here's the thing. For a long time, it was like SoundCloud is like kind of off the grid. It's not the same as Spotify as far as some music distributors didn't even distribute to SoundCloud for a long time. And a lot of them now are, but it's kind of similar to YouTube. So you can upload your music directly to SoundCloud, but you can also have your distributor distribute for you. Okay, there's that. But what about the collection aspect? Here's what I dove in today. And I actually was speaking with music distributors because not every single one is the same. Okay, but what I do know from what I discovered is that under the Spotify model, it is a pro rata model. This is the way it works. There are subscription fees paid by users on Spotify. So how do you get paid? You get paid based on a pro rata model. So the money paid by the subscribers goes to each artist based on a proportional share of what's in this big pool. So SoundCloud is different. The way that it does this is it's an artist-centric system. And so I've heard some kind of kudos to this platform and just being like, we like this because the calculation is actually done on the level of the individual subscriber. So meaning you have your super fan Jane, and Jane listens obsessively to your stuff on SoundCloud and maybe like one other artist. And so the streams are shared in proportion to how much that fan is actually listening to you. Does that make sense? So you actually could get paid more based on your fans listening to your stuff on SoundCloud. So then I go, well, is it the same in every country? So wherever you're at right now, hello. So, we're based here in the United States. And so it does depend. And so as I kind of went through, I got the secret list of which ones are actually getting paid, monetized, and paying you royalties, right? And if you are in the United States, good news, but it's New Zealand, Australia, France, Mexico. So it depends on the country that you're in. But generally speaking, if you are in the US, for example, that's cool. So that's the monetization piece. There's a potential to make more money through SoundCloud. If you're needing legal help, feel free to reach out to Delgado Entertainment Law, which is my firm. We offer free case evaluations with our case managers. So just meaning you don't have to make any kind of commitment. We'll just see how we can help you. Feel free to call us. You can text, you can email. We look forward to hearing from you. So and then we go into now the next kind of category, which is going to be what about reach and discovery? Because now with Spotify, do you think someone's just going to randomly stumble across your stuff? Probably not. We have a little bit of a saturation issue already from the number of songs and independent artists and just music that is flooding Spotify right now. But the problem is now even more amplified because of AI music. We have a whole lot going onto the platform. And so it's very challenging to discover new acts, independent artists, that kind of things. So as I was looking at SoundCloud, but also having spoken with clients and people who are using SoundCloud, I go, okay, this is interesting because they have these discovery tools. Now, there are paid tiers that they have, but they go, look, if you pay for this little premium tier, we will amplify you. We will help our fan base on this platform to find your music. And I go, do I believe that? What I do know, because I have used that platform and I did use it for a long time, and it's kind of the culture of the platform that I, in my experience, found that there were a lot more people who are like, I don't want to say music lovers, you know what I'm saying? There's just more engaged people who are like all about the underground and discovering new talent versus I think on Spotify, you have a lot of more variety, right? Passive listeners, that kind of thing. As far as the reach and the discovery piece, and I want your feedback, drop a comment down below. Has this been a good platform for you? That's interesting, but I am seeing that there are DJ integrations, there's ad-supported tiers, okay, so that's interesting. Now, I'm gonna be honest about this as far as are there deal breakers? Because we haven't gone through everything, but these are some good things that I'm seeing and hearing, okay? Now, kind of transitioning a little bit over to the contract. This is something that I care about very much, right? I'd be remiss not to mention it as a lawyer. But this company is based in Germany. And for the times that I've had to reach out to them on your guys's behalf, because maybe you had some kind of problem, because SoundCloud does provide distribution. If you have a problem with your distributor, SoundCloud, we have to go through the same process, which is we put together a letter and then we reach out to their legal department. What I can say very honestly is that it was just some of the worst communication that I have had, for sure, dealing with a music distributor, because I am very aggressive and I will follow up and I will get the job done. And that's what we did with this situation and many others. But the communication, really terrible. Okay, so for me, I don't love that. And I've also heard with the customer service in general from you guys, literally on this live stream, as I've gotten some feedback, customer service, no good. Okay, we don't love that. But let's actually look at the terms of service. All right, so just pointing out a couple things that I saw. So for example, it goes, SoundCloud includes social and interactive features that enable users to engage with and learn from the SoundCloud community in order to build a following and ensure you get the content that interests you most. For example, users who upload content to SoundCloud will gain access to our Fan Insights feature, which provides creators with insights and how the content they upload fares. So basically, you get some insight on what's happening. There's an opportunity to have some fan engagement. I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? For me, there is a deal breaker in this. Now, the reason why I think this is part of what this company is doing, this might not be something that you care about, I just do, okay? So this is what it says in the terms of service. So it goes, in absence of a separate agreement that states otherwise, you explicitly agree that your content, so your music, your pictures, your comments, may be used to inform, train, develop, or serve as input to artificial intelligence or machine intelligence technologies or service as part of and for providing the services. So for me, that's a hard deal breaker because we look at the distributor agreements for companies that are here in the United States. And while they will have opt-in options for AI, they still make you have to say, I want to be a part of this, because it's a huge deal. You cannot take back the rights for your intellectual property once AI has trained on your music. And with that, there's all kinds of, well, what about the new music that it spits out? And when that music sounds just like yours because it was made from your music, and then you're not getting paid for that. This automatically gives the right just by having your music on the platform. So there's that, and that might not be a huge deal to all of you, but it was to me. So that's why I want to make sure that I'm looking at this holistically for those of you using it. The purpose, really, I know the two things that you guys care about the most, which is making money and getting discovered. And because of this, I'm done with SoundCloud. I know that not all of you are actually using SoundCloud, and that's why I wanted to really focus on it, because I see it as like the potential. It's like, where do we go? What do we do if we need to jump ship from Spotify? If you like this comparison of one music platform compared to another, be sure to subscribe. I'll be hitting you with more videos just like this. I'm top music attorney, Miss Krystle. See you on the next one.